Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be how to look expensive as a plus size mature woman. At least I think that's the title I landed on. If we have not met before, my name is Auralia and the content that I provide here is all around style and fashion for the plus size mature woman. Why? Because I firmly believe that life is way too short to live without style. I post 2 to 3 times a week, so if you are into it, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss anything and you can become a part of our lovely little community here. If you are returning, welcome back. I am so happy that you are here. I wanted to take a few minutes to say thank you so much to all of you who left me your kind words of condolence for my little cat Coco. If you missed it, I posted on my community tab a couple of days back that my little girl, we had to let her go. She had been battling cancer pretty much all of 2019 and had gotten to a point that there was just nothing more that we could do to try and help her. She was in pain and she was uncomfortable. And so we made the decision to let her go, which is one of the hardest decisions that I think anyone could ever have to face. And she was with us for 16 years. She was my heart. She was my beautiful, beautiful Siamese cat. And I miss her, but I am so happy that I have built and continue to build a wonderful community of women and some men who help me and elevate me and support me. Thank you so much for your kind words. It means the world to me. Thank you. All right, let's dive into today's video, how to look expensive. So I want to preface this video by saying that looking expensive is not the most important thing. There are so many other things that are more important, like health, well-being, and things like that. However, I do believe that it is important to always look your best so that you can kick ass at life. And that's what this video is about. The first tip that I have is all around fabric and construction of pieces. When you want to look expensive, it's important to take a look at the types of fabrics that you are wearing. It is very easy to not look expensive if you don't have fabrics that look of quality. That doesn't mean that you will never wear polyester ever again in your whole life, because that's what I'm talking about here mostly. What it means though is that you need to find, or you should look for fabrics, even polyesters, that are of higher quality or have a really good drape. They look and feel and move in such a way that is really, really nice. And I'll show you some examples here as I'm talking. You want to have fabrics that are really look rich. You also want to take a good look at construction, because you could have a very nice fabric, but if construction is terrible, the piece is going to look awful. So you want to make sure that your seams are straight, that they're sewn correctly, they're not bunching or anything like that. You want to be sure that the fabric that you're wearing, even though it may be polyester, looks rich and looks really, really good and is of good quality, or at least appears to be good quality. And you can absolutely find really nice pieces at fast fashion places like Zara and Walmart and places like that. You can get quality there, but you have to do the due diligence to look at the fabric, feel the fabric, look at how it drapes on you, and look at the construction. My second tip ties closely to fabric, and that is texture and sheen. When you have something that has a really great texture, let's say merino wool or cashmere, it feels very soft and luxurious to the touch. It also looks very soft and luxurious when you're looking at it. And it will give you that sense of luxury, especially if you've got a really nice texture happening. Same thing applies to sheen, and I'm talking about the kind of sheen that you would get from like a satin or a silk, that very subtle shine that you get with those types of fabrics, versus something like cotton that has no shine at all. When you put a white button-down shirt that's made out of cotton next to one that is made of silk or satin, there's a definite difference that you see. And the silk and satin, that sheen, really elevates the piece of clothing, and it will elevate anything that you put with it. The next tip that I want to share is going with a monochrome look or a monochrome color palette or colorway. There is something very luxurious about going head to toe in one color. Because it looks so cohesive, it lends itself to that luxurious look and feel, and it really works. And when you do wear monochrome, that's when my previous point comes into play, where you have textures and things like that, and that helps to kind of elevate that monochromatic look. It just looks really, really nice, especially when you wear head to toe ivory or white. But head to toe in one color of anything looks really, really luxe. My next tip is to keep it simple. That goes from the clothing that you're wearing, the shoes, the bag, the jewelry. Take jewelry, for instance. When someone is dressed and looks expensive, the jewelry that they're wearing is very subtle, but it's usually fine jewelry, or it looks very fine. And that makes it feel and look like you, one, have purchased these pieces very thoughtfully and with intention. That lends itself to that luxe look and feel. You don't have to wear designer head to toe. You don't even have to wear real jewelry. When you wear that beautiful, simple jewelry, you're giving off an air of effortlessness. It looks really well thought out and well put together, and emulates that luxurious, expensive look that you would be striving for. This next tip is a little bit antiquated, but I do believe that it applies in this scenario, and that is to match your shoes to your belt to your bag. When you have that cohesive look between shoes, belt, and bag, it really looks, again, very thoughtful and intentional, but cohesive and simple. And all of these things are kind of coming together, right? And when you do the matching thing, it just looks really well put together. The same holds true for hardware. This one is a little bit tough for me because I enjoy mixing metals. If you really, really want to nail that expensive luxe look, you will keep it all to one tone. So if you've got gold hardware on your belt, gold hardware on your purse, your jewelry should be gold, your watch should be gold, all of that fun stuff. I do see the truth in it. I do see that just like with matching the leathers, all gives off this really classic and high-end kind of look and feel. I've talked about fit here on my channel a few times, and it's crucial when you want to look expensive that everything fits perfectly. And you can buy off the rack left and right and then just have it tailored down to you. And what that does is it will take a generic garment and make it look like it was custom made for you. And that in turn will give you a very expensive, luxurious kind of look. You know, it really just elevates you when you have things that fit you like a glove. My next tip is very inexpensive, and that is styling. Yes, styling. How you style your clothes gives off a certain air. And if you style them in such a way, then you can absolutely look like you're made of money. A few of the tricks that I think of when I think about this particular tip are things like popping your collar up or rolling your sleeves up, and that way they're at your elbows. There's just something about that looks very intentional and expensive. I don't know why. And then my most favorite trick, though, that I love, that immediately says, ooh, this girl has got it going on, is draping your jacket over your shoulders. It is such a great little trick. Any of these, but that one in particular is such a great little trick to look luxe. I love it. You just look so good when you do that. You look like you're jet setting. You don't have time to put your jacket on completely. You just throw it on your shoulders and you're off to live your jet set life. I don't know. That's my little fantasy. But anywho, love, love, love this particular tip because it takes nothing to do. You know, you just take what you have and you zhuzh it up and you make it look amazing with a few little styling hacks. Grooming is very, very important to looking expensive. Before you leave the house, making sure that everything looks good. Nothing will ruin a really expensive look like unkempt hair. You're combing your hair, your nails are well groomed. If you don't like doing long nails or if you don't like doing nail polish, that's fine as long as they're trimmed and clean and look good. It's those little things that will really say expensive or not, you know, and these again are very easy things to do, don't cost you a whole lot to make sure that you look presentable when you walk out the door. Then there is balance, and what I mean by that is balancing your outfits so that if you're wearing something big and roomy on top, you keep it slim and trim on bottom, or if you're wearing something voluminous on bottom, that you keep it slim and trim on the top. You strike that balance, and there's just something really, really beautiful and luxurious when you do that. It's very pulled together, again, very intentional, and it looks really, really great, and it can give off that air of luxury or expensive. If you do decide to go with something that is very slim fitting from head to toe, you wear a coat that is kind of loose and baggy. If you're wearing oversized head to toe, you come off looking a bit bigger than you actually are, and fit is everything. The next tip that I have for you is to groom your clothes as well. Not just you, but your clothes. Invest in a steamer or an iron, and also a sweater or cloth depiller. Being wrinkled just doesn't look good at all. It doesn't look well pulled together. You look unkempt, and you want to be sure that if you're making the effort to try and look expensive, that you take care of the clothes that you're wearing, that they look like they have been steamed. You want to look like you've got people that take care of all of this for you, even though you're doing it yourself. So make sure that you remove the little pills from your sweaters. The more luxurious the fibers the sweater is made of, the more you'll find pilling, and that's natural for these types of fibers. So invest in a depiller, invest in a steamer, and you will be very, very happy and very well put together. And trust me, a steamer is so much easier than an iron. The last tip that I have is, I consider it a bonus tip, but at the same time, it's kind of the theme throughout this video. And that is, you want to look effortless. Luxury equals effortless in my mind, because you aren't trying too hard. That also equates to comfort. You want to be comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to be confident, and you're not going to look stylish, and you're not going to exude that air of luxury that you want to put off. When you look at people like models off duty, you know, and others like that look incredibly pulled together, it's all about ease and comfort and confidence, and effortlessness is the core of all of these tips that I'm giving you. If you can strike being effortless, then you've got it, and people will treat you differently, trust me. You will exude that air of luxury. And I think that for those of us at this age, we have earned the right to look that way. Being in our second half, we should embrace that. We should embrace the fact that we are in a place where we can look amazing and like we have achieved a lot of success. And it really doesn't take a lot, and it really isn't as expensive as you would think, because you're not constantly replenishing your wardrobe when you buy quality pieces and when you wear things that are made well, regardless of price point. Those are my tips. If you are interested in more classic wardrobe tips for plus size women, then please check out this playlist right here. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Make sure to live your life filled with confidence, grace, and style. I will see you in my next upload. Bye.